Boop, 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 boop. Hello, I'm Johnny Jungleguts, the top-notch gamer, aka the top-notch gamer. And I'm in the studio with Ray Adolphus.
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 Yeah, I just put a pun on it on Facebook. It's like adultery.
Oh, I get it. Okay, chill.
I'm a weirdo.
Ray, fireman, bartender, beefcake, supermodel of the world. How's it going? Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
How long have you been working out for, would you say?
I did track in high school. It was like 145 when I graduated.
Yeah.
Just slowly stacked on some weight since then.
Yeah.
I really don't hit the gym that often. I'm pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
I cycle a lot though.
You cycle a lot, okay.
Yes. I refuse to drive in this crazy ass city 90% of the time. So
But do you have a car?
Yes. I think the last time I put gas in it was, like the last 2 days of December.
Wow, that's amazing.
Mid-February. I just really never drive unless I absolutely have to. But other than that, I really like riding my bike. Except for those few times I've gotten hit by cars, it's usually pretty good.
And do you find that you get a lot of exercise at being a fireman?
Well, I did a lot of volunteer firefighter work.
Oh, you were a volunteer fireman.
Yeah,
Okay.
like in my late teens, late in high school, and then a few years after that. Since then, I've been an EMT.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So I'm doing that for the past few years, and I think this is actually the first time in my life where I'm not doing anything medical oriented, and just working at the bar.
And that bar is?
The Precinct in downtown. Fun job. I love it there. Really love the group that I have to work with. I'm going to start nursing school in the fall. So I'd like to have my schedule kind of cleared out so that once that starts, I can just kick ass at nursing school and just take care of that shit.
And they're so nice over there. They know about all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And who's the crew over there? Is it Sean Morales?
Yeah, we have Sean Morales there on weekends doing his little promotions. Brian and Thor that own the bar. And there's the barback and bartending crew, which is amazing. And we just try not to get too drunk and make a lot of money.
There you go.
Fingers crossed.
Pretty chill. And Precinct is a gay bar.
Yes, yes. Although some nights you would not know it.
How would you not?
Because there have been a lot of nights lately where it's predominantly females.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And I mean, we have gay guys, we have gay girls, we have all kinds of couples.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's what I like about it. It's not just a guy-on-guy bar. Which I get, that's my preference, but we do have the ladies that come in here often. And so it's nice because it's very diverse.
I didn't know
And
that.
that's
That's really cool.
Okay, real quick, how do you have so many abilities for Edgar?
I think there's a little section in, if you go back to Figaro Castle, you can actually buy, not the first time, but the second time, you can actually buy more tools than in the first round when you go over there. You can get the drill.
Because like I was telling you earlier, this is the first time I've started to play Final Fantasy VI. I've been playing it for about a month now, and I'm about where you are. But I only have auto crossbow, and I like it because it hits everyone. But that looks
It's really
even
good.
better. That
Yeah.
Bioblaster looks even better.
Bioblaster is good because it inflicts everyone with poison. I really need to be focusing on is stealing dragon boots from the Harvester, but I wonder if that was an earlier port and the Harvester doesn't have that in this version. I really don't know because I can't seem to
Find it.
I can't. It's not getting stolen. Something else. It's dropping something else. But you've played a lot of the other Final Fantasies?
Yes, I grew up on them. I think as of first or second grade, I started playing Final Fantasy Tactics. And then Final Fantasy VII.
That's, yeah.
And 7 to this day is my favorite. That and Tactics have always been my favorite. 10, 4, 1. 10-2 is cute.
It's cute.
10-2 is kind of crazy. You definitely need a strategy.
That was exactly what I was about to say. That was the thing that annoyed me about it was I felt like I could not have played the game without the strategy guide and really gotten the full experience of it. You know, it was so easy to miss some of the outfits, I guess you would say, the jobs.
Yeah, those outfit thingies, the little side quests, and then at the end of the day, when you pass the game, you want to get that 100% completed thingy, and unlock the secret endings and whatnot. And it really took a lot out of me. I got to 100% once, and then my cousin like saved over it before I passed it.
Yeah.
But fun game.
Yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics is a classic though. I mean, I think like that was like some like early. I don't know when the first Game of Thrones came out, but that was like some fantasy political intrigue type stuff that was like pretty next level that I hadn't seen. And it's such a tragedy. I mean, basically all the characters except for the main character die.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So where did you grow up?
I'm an LA native.
Oh,
I grew
cool.
up actually in Linwood. It's a small little town about 20 minutes south of USC-ish, maybe.
Okay.
Grew up there. I actually live near USC now. So a big reason why I love to cycle so much is because it's all convenient. I work down the block, I go to school down the block, and everything's just really convenient. I hardly need my car.
Yeah.
I've had times where I've driven to work and I will get there. It'll take me longer to get there in my car than it will to take me on my bike.
Oh yeah, with the parking and everything.
Yes.
I can't even. Parking is even worse, I hear, in San Francisco, which is like unbelievable.
San Francisco scares the crap out of me.
Have you been up there though?
Yes, I've been up there a few times, and it's there's so much going on. Everything I feel is super expensive, but
It's more of an East Coast city. I think that's what people say. But it's Linwood. What is that like? I feel like I've heard that name before, but I don't know anything about it. What's like the vibe
like
over there?
near. It's between Compton and Southgate.
Okay.
It's a very Latino, slight African American vibe.
Slight African American?
It's a little bit in half. I feel like it might actually be more Latino, but
Are you a little bit in half?
yeah. So I'm actually my parents are from Belize.
Oh, cool.
I'm born in LA. So Spanish is basically what I grew up with. Learned English along the way, and yeah, that kind of sums up Linwood, really. That really does sum up Linwood. It's really mostly Latin, Spanish speaking. Everyone knows Spanish.
Were you speaking it in school, or what's the deal with that?
A lot in school. I mean, everyone just kind of speaks it to an extent, whether it's just slang or whatever. We all have a good understanding of what it is. I took a lot of Spanish native in high school, so I was forced to speak Spanish more than I felt comfortable with.
Yeah.
But it got me through my AP exam, so booyah.
And did you do any college, anything like that?
Yeah, I'm in college right now. I'm wrapping up some transfer requirements for this nursing program I'm getting into. I want to go to Cal State LA, get my BA in nursing, and maybe get a master's after that. But I'll deal with that when I get there.
When you get there, what makes you want to be a nurse? What brings that on?
Back in high school, I took some aptitude tests, and it suggested working in emergency situations, and so I became what's called a fire explorer for LA County Fire, and did a bunch of volunteer work with them for about 4.5 years. Started college, became an EMT, and I love being an EMT. I think my most favorite times, though, are when I'm with patients in an ER.
Really?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I don't think I could handle it. You're just one of those people who's really comfortable around blood and stuff.
Yes. I mean, I don't feel like I've seen a lot of crazy things. I've been told I've seen some crazy stuff out on the field. But it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't really bother me. Later on, I'll laugh about it. I just love doing this emergency medical stuff. It's crazy. It can get stressful sometimes. You have patients that are insane. The violent patients are always funny. The hypersexual patients are the best.
The best. The violent are the funniest, and the hypersexual are the best. What's that? Let's tell me about that logic.
I think one of the best times is I was working with a partner. I was driving the ambulance. We're going to the hospital, and my female coworker's in the back with this female patient, who's what's called a 5150. She's either a danger to herself or others.
Yeah, I might have gotten one of those before, but let's not make this about me.
Fair enough.
So she's in there.
So when you're 5150 and you're in an ambulance and you're being transported to a psych ward.
Oh yeah.
You're strapped in from your wrists and your ankles to the gurney. And we just kind of monitor your vitals, make sure that you're safe. and not hurting yourself while you're in the ambulance.
Right.
Patients can break out of those things, and it can get ugly from there, but...
Oh my gosh.
In this case, the female patient started arching her back and screaming, "Rip off my earrings and suck on my titties." Yeah, suck on my titties. And it's just... And my coworker's just sitting there like, what do I do? I'm not gonna suck on your titties.
Right.
Not gonna rip off your earrings. I probably shouldn't do that either.
And what are you doing?
Just driving, trying to figure out...
Oh, you're the driver.
I'm just trying to figure out whether, do I go back there and help her with her days? No, I'm kidding. No. But, I mean, there's a lot of, like, crazy, sometimes awkward things that'll happen. I had a patient who had... And this was, like, a really routine call. He was being taken to dialysis, and he crapped himself right before he got there.
Oh, God.
So a dialysis center won't take a patient if they've crapped themselves.
Why is that?
Because they don't want to deal with the crap.
But who's gonna take? What's the dialysis center? What does that mean?
So a dialysis center is basically for people whose kidneys don't work anymore.
Oh gosh.
And kidneys filter out your blood. They clean up your system. You need that to live. If your kidneys don't work, you'll be dead. A couple of days tops.
Wow.
So there's this dialysis. There are these dialysis centers all over the city that hook you up to these filtration systems and clean your blood out for you, and you do them every few days.
Every few days, these people have to go in.
Yeah, it's about 3 times a week, and you're there for about 4 hours, sitting in a chair, getting your blood sucked out of you and put back in you clean, and it's vital to live. Sucks because most patients don't get a long time, like, estimated to live while they're on it. They'll get like 4 years tops, and then their body just kind of gives out.
God.
So really unfortunate. So it's like, we always talked about, like, what are ways to avoid it? So, like, drink lots of water, kind of exercise. It's crazy, but in the long run, it'll help you out. But, so we were really upset that this dialysis center won't take this patient just because they crap themselves. But, fair enough. So we're going to take them back to their home, and this is like a good 15, almost 20-mile drive during rush hour traffic on the way back.
Oh boy.
And he crapped himself. I have no AC in the back. I have no ventilators to get the crap smell out of the back room. Out of the back of the ambulance where I'm sitting with this patient. And halfway there, I looked down, and sure enough, and I could not believe this because this had never happened to me before. I'd heard of this happening to people, but it never happened to me. He was jerking off and using his shit as lube.
Oh my God.
And I didn't know what to do for a second there. I just kind of freaked out. There's some crazy little things you see.
So you just sort of just take it all in stride and just think, it'll be a good memory. It'll be a good story to tell.
I laugh about it now, but I remember when it happened, I was furious.
Oh my God.
Because it was just a really bad day at work. And it was like, no, you can't do this right now.
Oh my
You
gosh.
do not do this to me.
And wait, so this guy is going to dialysis. It's your job to go pick him up and take him, or it's like
To pick him up and take him.
So he knows this is coming up.
Oh yeah, this is routine.
Oh my God.
The few dialysis patients we did work with knew this was happening. It was all scheduled. For some people, it's every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So you knew we were coming. I just think it was insane that he decided to whip it out and start jerking it while he was totally soiled.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Fun stuff.
So you don't enjoy that stuff, but you're just one of those people who's just able to cope with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like looking forward to someone jerking off, and well, it's not at work.
But it makes an interesting story.
Yeah. Definitely, it's definitely something you can go back and laugh at later. But being this person's medical care provider, it's something you have to deal with. You obviously can't have them doing that. Not to mention, it's probably not very sanitary or good for them. So you have to get them through that situation.
Yeah.
That's kind of what being an emergency person is all about, I feel. If people are having a bad day or going through something crazy, you have to help them get through it.
Yeah.
Whether it's pretty or not, you help them get through it.
And you don't, like, internalize any of it. You don't really let any of it get to you.
Well, you can. It's not personal.
Right.
He didn't go, oh, it's Ray in the ambulance today. I'm going to jerk off and piss him off today.
Gosh. So how did you go from that to working at a bar?
Well, a few years back, I was with some friends at the Faultline. It was like Memorial Day or Veterans Day or something, and we were blasted off our butts. And I was with my boss at the time, actually, when I worked for Target.
Okay.
And we got up to the bar, we were going to order another round of drinks. And again, we shouldn't be drinking anyway. We should have been cut off at this point. And my boss goes, you guys should hire Ray to work at this bar. You should see how crazy he works. He works really good for the departments we have him running at Target. You guys should hire him to work here. It turned out one of the bartender we were talking to was actually one of the managers there. And he just goes, fine, show up on Thursday. I'll set you up with a job interview. I don't care. And I showed up and I got it. And I was there for a good, 3.5 years.
Oh, wow.
That's where I met Brian and Thor, the current owners of the precinct.
Yeah, I'd seen Thor in lots of, group pictures, but I always didn't know, what his... So now I know. He runs the show. He's running it.
Oh, yeah. He and Brian are doing a kick-ass job.
Yeah. So you started at Faultline, and then Then you moved to Precinct when they opened that?
Yeah, so Brian and Thor were actually working at Faultline for a few years. They're actually thinking of buying Faultline after the last owner, Sean Farnsworth, was going to sell it.
Uh-huh.
There's too many issues with, the liquor license and the things with the property, and Brian and Thor didn't feel comfortable buying it, so they decided they're going to branch out and do their own thing.
Uh-huh.
And so they ended up buying Precinct, and they took about a year to get it going. But, they got it going, and it's kicking ass now.
Yeah.
Once they opened, I didn't immediately go over. I stayed at Faultline for a little while longer. I was actually working another medical job at the time, so juggling 3 jobs was kind of scary. I didn't want to deal with it. But once I left Faultline, I committed to Precinct full-time, and that's my only job now, and I'm really happy with it. Financially, it's great. It's a lot of fun, and it gives me enough time to deal with school and study and do homework and all that jazz.
Yeah, and I mean, driving a EMT truck, ambulance, with all that mess, I mean, it's not even, there's, you have to deal with crazy people at a bar too, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you're it's probably, it's like a walk in the park for you to be doing that stuff.
There have been a few times at the bar where it's like, oh crap, this happened, someone fell, or there's a fight, someone grabbed Ray, he'll know what to do with this person.
You'll know what to do.
It's like, God, okay. I mean, there's only so much you can do. I think a big thing about being an EMT is you kind of just stabilize the situation, you keep it from getting worse. Mm-hmm. And then, we'll just call 911, and this is more at Faultline.
More at Faultline than Precinct.
Oh yeah, Precinct is a lot calmer. Faultline, you always had something crazy happening.
Because Faultline is more macho gay, even than Precinct.
I want to say crazy gay.
Yeah?
That's where you get the super guys the guys who get super drunk and want to fight or...
Why do they want to fight?
Or bang in the bathroom stalls.
Oh, well, I know why.
That's normal, I get that.
Yeah. So wait, here, read, where did we go? We've somehow linked away from it. I think it's because I'm a stupid keyboard. See if you can find the Zozo zone, and tell me what I'm supposed to do here. Because I'm not totally sure. I think.
It looks like you're in this town. Zozo's layer. Full layers, don't believe anything anyone tells you. The line workers can jump between buildings. Terra is in the highest tower. I'll guide you to the tower once you get out of this fight.
Okay.
But we're going for the tallest tower, and that seems to be this super monster big building.
Is there anything I don't want to... I'm pretty sure you get Edgar's chainsaw in here. So I don't want to miss that. But I think it might be in that tall tower that you were describing.
See, number 8, a chainsaw.
Let's see. And there's and you get it, there's there's a fallen over girl over here. I always get so nervous when I see, girls, falling over drunk. You just don't...
Well, actually, yeah, I see the chainsaw. So it's 08.
It tells you the passcode on there?
Yeah.
Because I remember it was locked up or something. When I've gone through this game this far, maybe 4 or 5 times. It's crazy that I've never beat it. I did a 6-foot-long drawing of it in high school. Here, see if you can find it. I bet it's up above here. Because that's Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it's past.
Oh, wait,
okay, so
there it is. There it is.
So when you enter the town, the first thing you'll notice is that despite it being a town, you can still get in random encounters. We're in the area, try to steal from the Harvester enemy and the Hades Gigas enemy so you can get the Dragon Boots and Atlas Ring. So I think, so you mentioned that earlier, it looks like you can grab it here.
Okay, alright, I'm seeing what it says. Okay, 6.
6, then
10.
10, then 0, 0, 0 with 50 seconds.
Oh, what am I getting here?
Now climb the stairs on the right and open the chest to receive the chainsaw. It's one of
nice.
Edgar's best tools in the game. It's definitely worth the effort to get.
Yeah, it's also... It pretty much makes him the best, like, character until, like, for the next large chunk of the game. So... What are we talking about? Why do people... I just don't understand why gay guys would want to fight each other.
You know, it's weird. I think one of the weirdest situations I ever saw was these two USC law students
Wow.
at a Faultline beer bus. I don't know if you've ever been to a Faultline beer bus.
I have, yeah.
So it's a nice little crowd, sunny day, cheap beer, it's fun. And these two guys were there, and I guess they were throwing beer on each other at first, because USC had won a football game that day. So they're like, yeah, USC, throw beer on each other, because whatever, I guess. I mean, I thought that was weird, but they were having fun, they weren't hurting anyone. And then after a certain point, we had two people come up to the bar, and then a third person come up to the bar and say that these guys were out there punching people in the face, screaming USC. And so immediately...
Gay guys?
Yes. So I immediately grabbed security and grabbed the manager, and we go handle the situation. Wow, that was pretty strong.
Yeah.
That was pretty damn strong. The chainsaw was pretty good.
Chainsaw is good.
So then, yeah, so I guess they're just going around punching people in the face. That's their way of celebrating. And then they get crazy once you bring security to them, and they go, well, this is a public establishment. You can't kick us out by law. And luckily at the time, Sean Farnsworth, the original owner, knew that rule. And apparently it was true. We can't just kick you out.
Wow.
We can cut you off, which we did. We had to call the police to come get them out. But I just never got that sense. I've never had a desire to go out and hurt someone.
Right.
If I'm going to go out, I want to either get laid or just have fun.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I want to do is hurt someone else. That's terrible.
Do you think more people go to Faultline to get laid than Precinct? Because Faultline has, like, all the naked stuff and, like, the porn. I guess, do they play porn on the wall at Precinct?
No. Precinct does not. Faultline always has. I don't know. I think it kind of depends. I feel like people go to places for different reasons, regardless of the place it is.
Yeah.
There are definitely people at Precinct that just... People at Faultline that would go there just to hang out, have a few cocktails and go home. People who needed to have sex with everyone in the bar. And I feel like that's kind of the same everywhere I've been.
Yeah.
And, like, even outside of the city.
I will say, like, the first time I ever went... Faultline was maybe the first gay bar I really ever went to in LA. I'd been to a party called the Silver Platter. I don't know if you remember that. But, the Faultline was the first gay bar I'd ever went to. And I remember Sean was there. And I recognized him from TV.
Sean Morales?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Drag Race.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And but he was, up on a something table,
go-go pole,
dancing,
shaking her
whatever.
butt.
And he could tell I was completely out to lunch. I didn't know what was going on. I had never been in a gay bar before. And he was so nice. And he got down. He asked me my name. He bought me a drink. It was this very sweet, very tender moment.
Nice.
But what people don't realize now is that gay bros are real. You can totally be gay and be a bro, and be a jerk, or not be a jerk, but just be like a chill gay bro. Sounds like what those USC guys were getting into.
When it comes to gay people, and just any people in general, people come in all kinds of shapes, sizes, backgrounds, personalities.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're gay or not. I've met all kinds of different people that were both.
Yeah.
I mean, gay or straight or otherwise.
Sure.
People can be assholes. People can be amazing.
But it's interesting that you're saying there's a lot of women at Precinct. Is there a lesbian night over there?
No, not yet, at least.
But so what makes you think there was so many ladies coming in?
Well, I feel like it's a bit more, at least back when I was at Faultline is raunchy as it is.
Yeah.
Definitely attracts a predominantly male crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas Precinct is a much more laid back bar.
Sure.
Kind of loungy. So I can see it attracting more general people. So I can see women coming to it.
Right.
And just feeling more like, oh, this is like a club. I can dance and not feel like no one wants me here because I'm a woman.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, cool. Have a few drinks, dance your ass off, and have a great time.
Yeah.
So I can see that. We get all kinds of straight couples that come in all the time.
Yeah.
And again, that's one of the reasons why I really like it. It's the age groups vary from, are you even old enough to drink, to, are you breathing still? You know, it's great. It's a really great place.
Yeah, I was at a party. I can't remember what it was called. My friend Will's gonna kill me because it's his party, but it was a gay hip hop night at the Lash. My friend Will Yornot was a DJ, and it was very definitely a very mixed crowd. There was definitely straight people there, and at first I was kind of like, "What are they doing at this gay party?" Then I kind of just settled into it. I was like, you know what? I think this is really nice, you know. But I think also, I really do think a lot of people go to Faultline like cruising for a butt bruising, like just based on, I don't know, and also the Eagle too. I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean the urinal is just a trough.
At Faultline, and at Eagle actually, both bars have troughs.
Both do that. Yeah.
One of the best things I've ever seen at Faultline was because there's all kinds of things in terms of sex that tries to go on. As employees, when we catch it, we have to stop it. Mm-hmm. Can't have it going on, so we always have to stop it. And
yeah,
I walked into the bathroom this one time, and there was this guy laying down in the trough.
Wow.
And that was his MO. He wanted to get peed on. He wanted to drink pee, and that was just his thing. And again, different strokes for different folks, but can't have you doing that here.
Yeah.
But damn, you're sitting in a trough.
There was a guy at the Eagle he used to go, and his whole thing, he would throw pies in people's faces. That's what he liked to do. And so he would set up a little station, and he would have pie throwing. He would throw pies in people's faces, and he was a good-looking guy, but that was just his thing. He just liked throwing pies in people's faces, and they let him do it, I guess. Or I don't really know what was going on, but
wow,
that was very interesting. So, what are you getting into here? Are you in a monogamo situation? Are you apping it up? What's going on?
Monogamo.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I'm good. I'm happy with it. There's something to be said, I feel like, about being in a relationship. And I get the whole freedom aspect of being single, and that's fun and dandy, but I swear sometimes there are some people out there just like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Whether you're just hooking up or just trying to hook up or whatever, I feel like some guys out there are just complete assholes or completely clueless, and it sucks.
It really sucks.
I have friends that are single and talk about wishing they were in a relationship just so they can get away from all the craziness and wanting to have that nice cuddle situation all the time. And I get it, because it's kind of awesome.
Yeah. And is this your first big one? Have you done it a couple times? Are you like, have you done like a bunch of long ones?
Only a couple. Not very much.
A couple, like two?
Like two.
Yeah,
I had
me too.
girlfriend in high school.
All right.
Yes, because I tried that.
Yeah? How was that working for you?
Not really worked for me.
No?
No.
That's always the worst.
Yeah, I tried it though. I went through the whole semi-denial. I'm not gay. Yeah, that guy's really hot, but I'm not gay.
What were you? So that's what you were thinking in your head. You were thinking, you knew what was going on. Really, deep down.
I think in high school it really was, because I remember. I think it was my senior year. I was like, okay, I'm gay. That's what this is. Stop pretending it's not a thing. And I was okay with it once I was cool with it in my own head.
Uh-huh.
And I stopped pretending to be something I wasn't.
Sure.
I think that was the biggest step. The hardest, but definitely the biggest and most important. And after that, everything just kind of gets easier. Once you're okay with who you are. At least that's how it was for me. Because I go for things, I tried it, but I remember feeling like I'm doing this just because I want it. Because it's what everyone else is doing. Okay. Not so much it's what I wanted.
You said, I'm doing it because I want it, not because I want it.
I want it because it's what's like everyone else is doing this, so I want to do what everyone else is doing.
Oh, sure.
And the moment I let go of that, it's like, well, what do I want to do? And I was like, well, I don't want to do this. This isn't cool. This isn't for me.
And so you break up with her and tell her you're gay?
Not right away. I didn't come out right away after. I didn't come out for a few years after high school, but once I did, I was happy with it. My family was fine. A couple of my brothers were like, yeah, we know. What else is new?
Oh, yeah?
Move on.
How many brothers you got?
I'm the youngest of 5.
5?
Older brothers.
All boys?
Yes.
Wow.
My parents are hoping they'd have a girl, but they had me, but I'm gay, so they'll get a son-in-law at least.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Sure. And what are your brothers like?
We all look the same.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I used one of the brother closest to me in age, used to use his ID a lot to get into bars when I was like 19 and 20.
Sure.
But for the most part, I mean, I have 2 brothers that are welders, one does construction, another's getting ready to start teaching, and then I'm doing my medical and bar stuff. Mm-hmm.
So they're all like kind of manly men, kind of like you a little bit.
They try.
Yeah? So now you're telling me you don't hit the gym that much, but I can tell you have fucking huge arms. You go in there.
Easily in the past 4 months, I've gone about 5 times.
In the past 4 months?
I'm not kidding. Last fall was a really hard semester, so I didn't have time to go to the gym. So I think from like mid-October to January I didn't go. And then I didn't go at all in January. And I started going maybe 2 weeks ago again.
Wow.
Yeah. I really just ride my bike a lot. I think that's it.
But, okay.
I'm putting the blame on that. I eat a lot.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm going to say something here, and you can feel free to disagree with me and think I'm a piece of shit. But when I was in high school, I had this friend, Darren. He was a black guy, and he never, ever worked out. And we had to pose for some, I don't know what the hell it was. He's totally gay now. But we had to pose for some type of, I don't know what the hell it was, some kind of spirit raise. I don't know what the situation called for, but he had to take off his shirt, which I'd never seen him do before. This guy takes off his shirt, okay, and you would have thought that he was a bodybuilder.
Oh, God.
Based on what was going on. I really think black guys just have just natural muscles. I really do.
I'm not going to argue with you. I think like 90% of the way my body is genetics.
Yeah.
And I can't argue that. I mean, that's just what I have. I know people that come from a predominantly obese family, and they have trouble losing weight.
Oh, sure.
They gain it after having an Oreo. They live by the whole, a moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips thing.
Sure.
Whereas me, it's like, I had a bowl of Oreo cookies for breakfast and dinner last night.
Oh, my God.
I'm good.
See, I go to CrossFit 4 times a week.
Oh my God, you do CrossFit?
Yeah, I do.
I love doing CrossFit.
You love doing it, okay.
I used to do it, I would say about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. I did it for a while.
Yeah.
It got kind of pricey, so I stopped going.
Where are we going? Which one? Which CrossFit?
Oh, it's one in Silver Lake. Actually, it was in the same parking lot as the Faultline.
Oh, okay.
So it'd be like right before I go into work, I'd go and I'd work out for a bit.
Yeah, that's convenient.
But I did it like once or twice a week.
Uh-huh.
And their workouts are insane.
Oh yeah, it's basically turning lifting into a race.
Like a cardio workout thing, but you're lifting your weight.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it.
It's crazy. I understand, because the guy who created CrossFit, I think he's like a lunatic. Like, you see interviews with him, and he'll like literally be like, you know, you can, like, he just says stuff you would never say as like the head of like something. Like, he's like, yeah, you can die doing CrossFit. Like, I can't even remember, like, just all these like crazy, insane macho things. And
That's not appealing to me.
People worship it like a cult, but I like it because I go in there, I get out in an hour. It's all kind of built around shame, though, because you're watching what the other people are doing, so you do it, you get it done like as fast as you possibly can. If I was just in a gym by myself, I would just be doing, I don't even know what I'd be doing.
See, even when I do go to the gym, I am the worst person. I'm in and out in like half an hour. And you're right, CrossFit is a big shame thing. They have the times on the board, who did these workouts and the best times today. Oh, look, you're in the top 30. Mm-hmm. You're never going to be number one. You got to try harder. I don't know, I guess that works for some people. Maybe it does. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't. The nice thing about the one at Highland Park is they don't like leave it up. I don't know. The Highland Park one that I go to is like real scrappy. It's like,
okay.
And I think it's like cheaper than most. That's what they say. I don't know. Anyway, it's totally boring talking about CrossFit.
Crossfitting.
Do you do like bicycle racing or anything like that, or marathons? Or...
I really wanted to start doing that, but they all start at like 6 a.m. and then I'd have to be up like early, get to bed on time.
Yeah.
I don't got time for that.
So working in a bar, what time do you wake up in the morning?
I worked last night, so I got home a little after 3.
Okay.
And that was early.
Okay.
I got home early. I didn't fall asleep until like 4-ish. I got a telemarketer call at like 8:30, and I could not go back to sleep after that.
Okay.
So
you have a landline in your house?
No, on my cell phone.
Oh, it's so annoying.
Up until recently, I normally had my phone on like silent overnight, but for emergencies now, I'm just accepted the fact that it really should just stay on. Someone calls me an emergency at like 5 a.m., I'd like to be there for them, so
yeah.
Keep it on.
Who's calling you for an emergency at 5 a.m.?
You never know. I've had friends call me at like 3:30 in the morning because they're shit-faced, broke, can't get an Uber. I have friends in recovery that have called me at like 3:20 a.m. when I'm asleep at 11 because they're freaking out about something and they just need someone to talk to. Okay. And I always feel terrible that it's like I'm not there to just pick up the phone. And that's all they need. So I think that's a big part of it for me. Even if it's, God forbid, I get that annoying telemarketer call at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., it's worth it because I got someone's back.
Yeah.
So, worth it.
Is this a boss fight? I can't tell.
Sounds like a boss fight.
Yeah. Wait, read to me what it says.
Dadaluma. Can be defeated fairly easily using Edgar's chainsaw, Sabin's pummel, Siren's quadra slam, level 4 sword tech. Dadaluma's attacks aren't too powerful or anything. The only complication comes when he heals. Casts safe and summons 2 enemies to fight with him. However, at that point, it seems she's close to death anyway. Chainsaw him in the face. It's a she. And then him.
Oh, wait. That thing was conflicting genders.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe...
It's pretty obvious it's a guy.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so...
Yeah, here we go.
Yep. How are you with your blitzes?
I'm pretty good. The only one I can't do is the suplex up top. But I probably could do it. I just have been too lazy to like, get really good at it. That's my whole...
I'd read something about where Sabin's techniques are based off of Street Fighter attacks. For Ryu, apparently.
Very likely. He's got a Hadoken move that, I mean, I can't mistake it for anything else.
Yeah, down, diagonal, and forward, right?
Yeah. Alright. If you want to take over for a second, I have drank just a little too much hard root beer here, and I need to go run and pee. I'll be right back.
Okey doke. Derp derp derp. Alright, so... Twisted headband. I am going to keep going up these steps. Tara is supposed to be in... There she is. Tara! You've been looking for her for a minute now. Grrr. Ada. Ramu, she's frightened. Ramu? That's the Aeon dude. Ediblon. Sounds Ada, you say. Interesting. So we found...
Shoot, we're getting into the cutscenes here.
So we found Tara.
That was the easiest time I've ever had playing this section of the game because in the past, just getting up there, I always would have so much trouble. This is kind of like a turning point in the game too. Like the gameplay really opens up after this because you can start to use espers.
Oh, nice.
Rama. It's funny, a lot of Final Fantasies use Rama as the lightning summon, but then, like, randomly a couple of them don't.
Final Fantasy X made one up called Ixion. It was like a unicorn.
Right?
9 used it. Final Fantasy VIII used Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah.
Which is like a Mayan god.
Yeah.
7 used it. 6.
5. I wonder why, though, those couple games, because every game uses Shiva and...
Ifrit and Bahamut.
Yeah, and I mean, for, like, one to leave... I mean, Shiva's kind of the most, like, problematic because it's...
She's usually not wearing much.
She's not wearing much. The real Shiva figure from Indian mythology, I think
actually a man.
Is a guy and has nothing to do with ice.
More to do with fire and death.
Right.
He does have that hair that Shiva usually has, though.
There's a visual, the blue, I think. I can't even remember.
I just know it's a dude, and he's, like, dancing on the dead. And it's this whole thing where he can summon up other dead people to help him fight, and he's, like, a fighting god. And so, like, for Final Fantasy to take it and turn it into an ice lady, it's
a little bit
different.
It's a little bit weird, yeah. But she's in almost all of them. And she's, I mean, I love her. She's great, but... I love this music. I think on the soundtrack it's called Another World of Beasts. The soundtracks for Final Fantasies are so insane.
I actually went to go see...
Nobuo
Uematsu.
I'm not even sure how to pronounce it, but...
You got it, yeah. Nobuo Uematsu. I went to Chicago to see him the first time.
You've seen it a couple times?
Yeah. Twice. Twice?
Wow.
Twice now? So I'm in Chicago, because they were like, oh, we're never going to perform in the U.S. again. This is it. So I got a ticket. Me and a friend got tickets to Chicago, saw them perform. It was amazing. And then it was like, oh, so we're going to perform in L.A. one last time. Like, screw you guys. And then we're going to do the last one in San Diego. So I saw the pattern. But still, I saw them when they came to L.A., I think, like, last year. Mm-hmm. And they're just amazing.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't be speaking on this, but a friend of mine from high school, the one who is actually named Deborah, that I named this character, she works in theater on the East Coast, and she is possibly adapting a scene from this game for a stage play with Nobuo Uematsu.
Whoa.
I cannot believe it. I was like...
That's pretty big.
And she was like, do you want me to help you with the script? I don't know if this is going to happen, honestly. It probably won't. Because I haven't heard from her in a while about it. But I was just like, I'll sweep the floor. I don't care. I'll just bring me out. I'll just come out. And whatever, I'll just be there. I don't really care.
I'll be the fly on the wall.
I'll sweep the floor. Were you a big anime guy as a kid, or were you ever into any of that stuff?
Somewhat. My brothers were actually a lot more into it, too. I was, I guess between Digimon, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh!
Uh-huh. Did you have cable as a child?
No. It was Fox Kids and KTLA5.
I knew that based on what you just said. Because all the kids who liked those shows were the kids who didn't have cable because they couldn't watch Toonami, so they couldn't really watch Gundam Wing or whatever the thing was at the time. So they were all watching those shows. But that was totally me too. Why didn't your parents? What was the rationale for no cable?
This is not necessary. We have regular TV, and I didn't care. I think the only time I was ever really irritated was around September 11th. I was in the 5th grade. And for about a week after, that was a big thing that happened. So regular TV was not back on for about a week and a half. And so I would get home from school every day wanting to watch Digimon, and it's all like the news. Fuck! Like I was so angry. Because at the time, to me, it was just, I'm just losing my cartoons.
Oh, sure.
Who should I get mad at for this?
That is so... I think about that all the time. The way little kids react or can react to, like, trauma,
Yep.
is so, like, not, I think, how adults think of it, because they're just, like, in their own little world of being kids. Like, sometimes that crazy stuff doesn't affect them. Like, the school over here got closed because of a bomb threat for a day, and I was thinking, man, if I was a kid, I would just be like, no school, you know?
Yay, bomb threat!
Exactly.
You don't really
that's
realize
what I
the
do.
danger you were just
Right.
in.
It's so crazy. So,
Digimon, Pokemon, and
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
it's time to duel. They're bringing back Digimon, I heard.
They actually brought it back.
Oh, they did it already.
They brought it back, I want to say November-ish?
Uh-huh.
They brought it back. They did like 4 episodes or something. And it was like
4?
Yeah, they did like 4 episodes. And,
How long each?
only 30 minutes.
Wow.
So it was a terrible teaser because it left you on a big, ginormous, angry cliffhanger.
Wow.
And then they go, so I guess we'll do a few more episodes. We're going to do another few more that come out in March. And they just announced they're going to do another few more in the summer.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was great. It was nice to see that original cast of Digidestin and their Digimon doing more stuff.
Uh-huh.
It's really good to see.
The thing about Digimon that was so different from Pokemon as a show was just that there was sort of a more epicness to the overarching story arc, is what I remember about it. That's why I liked it as a kid. I liked them both, but I was such a nerd.
I thought it was cool because, like, the Digimon had their own world, and these few selected kids got to go there and do their own thing there. They saved that world, and everything went better after that. But I mean, I can't argue with Pokemon either. I still play that to this day.
Oh, absolutely.
And like this is their 20th anniversary. They're doing like an event where every month they're going to release a legendary Pokemon for you to freely download, and it's.
Where are they doing that, at GameStop?
They're doing GameStop this month, and then I think for the rest of the year you can just do it on Wi-Fi.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Yeah, I'm a Pokemon freak. I don't know if you know this about me, but I
heard that you did some drawings for Pokemon.
Yeah, I drew all the Pokemon.
How many of them?
I drew all the alternate forms, so it was close to 800 drawings.
Oh my god.
It was a floor-to-ceiling installation in, like, a gigantic room. It was insane. It was like, the gallery I showed it at was literally the only gallery in LA that was non-commercial that would have, like, had the physical space to show that work.
That's a lot.
So lucky.
That's a lot of Pokemon.
It was crazy, yeah. Right, how do we equip Espers? That's what I want to know.
Can anyone equip them, or
yeah,
just...
now we can. Yeah, okay, here we go.
Oh.
So let's see.
Oh, and then everyone gets magic from it.
Yeah, right. So the game really opens up now because everyone can learn different sets of magic. So I'm saying she's gonna be the healer because that's what she's been. So let's see. Now you said you have some friends in the program. Is your guy a sober guy or not?
No. I have a couple of really good friends that are a couple. I actually worked in recovery last year for a pretty long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You completely left that job out.
I want to say it was like the end of 2014.
Okay.
Beginning of 2015 up until like the fall. I actually worked at a detox center, and that was insane.
Oh, yeah?
It wasn't until I started working in precinct in like August where I actually personally met and knew someone that was in recovery.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand it on a personal level, and it is intense.
Sure.
It is intense.
It's a lifelong thing, you know?
And it's not a joke.
No.
I think just from a professional aspect, I understood how to work with it, but I didn't really get it until I, got close to people that were actually going through it. And then that, like, just broke me apart.
That affected you, because you can handle the bloody tit sucking, screaming, shit jerk off. You can handle all that, but alcoholics, that's like too emotionally intense.
Yeah, it sucks. I think the scariest part is it doesn't go away. I think that's the thing that bugs me the most. Is there is no way to just like here, take 2 of these pills and it's gone for life.
Right.
No, it's something that will affect you every single day for the rest of your life. Some days more than others. You'll be fine all day today, all day tomorrow. And then 3 days from now, it'll hit you like a ton of bricks and a tank and a spaceship and a building. And that's just insane. That's insane.
Sure.
But after a certain point, it's not someone's own desire. I remember being younger and hearing about people like in an AA or an NA and wondering like, what is it? Like, just stop doing it, you know? Just don't do it. You're crazy. Don't do this. You know it's bad for you. Don't do it anymore. But it's not that simple. Your brain doesn't function the same anymore. Your brain demands this from you all the time. You have to have the willpower to say, brain, shut up, you're crazy. We're not doing all that stuff.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I have never tried any really hard drugs, but I sort of, like, if it makes you feel like the best feeling you could ever feel in your life, you know what I mean? It's kind of, in a weird way, hard to argue with that.
No, I completely agree. I mean, they call it a high for a reason.
Yeah. You
go on this crazy elevated level and you don't want to lose that feeling. You want to keep getting it over and over and over again. So I get it. I want to say the craziest thing I've tried is pot a few times.
That's the craziest drug you've ever tried.
That and alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, the craziest drug I've ever tried is mushrooms, but I've never done like hard, like, you know, meth or heroin or crack or anything like that. Thank God.
I'm a phlebotomist. I have like my phlebotomist cert. That's like the blood drawing thing. And I'm terrified of needles.
I thought you were saying you were a full bottomist.
I mean...
That too, a little bit?
That catch me on the right day of the week.
It's the right day of the week.
It depends on what I've had for lunch.
Sure. I think as gay men... I didn't realize it when I was younger, but now... Or I didn't think of it this way, but now, like, if I'm hanging out with a guy and, like, we're, like, planning on going to dinner, I really just want to have sex before we even leave. You know? Like, let's just get it in. We won't have to, you know, just,
Let's get it out of the way now.
Get it out of the way now so we can
not worry about it later.
We don't have to worry about anything.
I just showered. Let's just do it now.
We just showered. You did whatever. I don't know. You're just coming over here, so whatever you've got, you know, going on, it's in a good space. And so let's just get... And then after you have sex, you're always hungry, so, I mean,
it kind of works out, doesn't it?
I think I recommend it. I think I would recommend it to really, like, almost anyone. What does it say? What does it say next now that what does it say right here?
With the boss defeated, you can climb the stairs. Speak with the person in the bed. Top trigger scene. After the legendary scene, pick up all the magicite, which we did. We've crypted it all. Enter Ozer's house at the north end of the town and speak to Impresario. After talking to him, get yourself a chocobo and make your way south from Jador to reach the Opera House.
What I want to know is how we get Shadow back in the crew, but it doesn't say. Maybe not yet. I don't really know.
But I've noticed with Shadow is if you just so happen to stumble upon him.
I think he's in the bar in this town, so maybe if we check in on him, he'll come back in.
Okie doke.
All right, let's talk to this guy. Maria.
Rosario.
Oh, right, because she looks just like the opera singer. I gotcha. So, yeah. It's also like, I feel like having sex is just so much more of a process when you're a gay guy, you know?
It's not easy. Some people can do it.
Some people can really do it.
Some people are like, cool, stick it in me.
I didn't really encounter that until really, I would say this last year. Like, people where you just think, God, they have just been made to just take it up that butt. And you can just get in there. Anyway.
I remember the first time I took it up the butt. I had, like, the day before, had some bad meat-oriented food.
Oh, God.
So, it was the first time in my life I'd gotten food poisoning. And it didn't kick in until, like, a day and a half later.
Uh-huh.
And so, again, I just bottomed. So, and again, this was my first time bottoming. First time I had ever gotten food poisoning at about the same time.
Yeah.
So, I thought me taking it up the ass was the food poisoning stuff. So I'm going crazy. I'm sick. I can't get off the toilet. And I'm like, oh my God, this is butt sex. This is going to happen.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
This is going to happen every single time I do this. I can't do this. And I remember I was crying. thinking like,
no.
I can't be gay, I can't do this.
Oh
I guess I'm just
my
gonna spend my
God.
life alone. And I'm like puking my guts out and just on the toilet.
Wow. Okay.
I lost like 15 pounds. It was terrible. And then it was like, oh,
You lost weight, you're saying?
a lot of weight. I wasn't eating.
But it was just the food poisoning.
It was just the food poisoning. I didn't know that. Because I didn't know what food poisoning looked like.
You also didn't really know what gay sex was all about.
No, yeah, that was like around the first time I was even starting any of the gay canoodling.
Yeah.
And so it was all just new to me, and it was all bad timing. And
see, that's the thing, is nobody teaches you about this stuff.
which is why I think it's important to talk about.
You don't even know up from down when you're getting it into the anal sex, and it's not, it's not like wham bam simple thing for everybody.
No, it's not. Some people it is, but I don't feel like it is for a lot of people.
The thing people need to know, though, gay people need to know, or this is the way I feel about it, is, I've definitely had situations where, if you go down a rabbit hole enough times, eventually you're going to find a rabbit. And, but the thing is, as awful and gross and disgusting as that is when that's happened, and it's really happened very few times, I'm still perfectly able, or he's still perfectly able, to just dive right back in. Just let a day or two go by, and you just dive right back in there, and it's no problem. It just happens.
You get yourself, you get up, you dust yourself off, and you get back in that road.
That's right.
It's not the end of the world.
It's really not. So, because I think people have a lot of anxiety too about it, but what are you gonna do?
It just hurts.
It does hurt. Have you ever done liquid having courage up the nose, poppers, any of that stuff?
I tried poppers once, and I don't understand why people love it.
Yeah.
I heard it just got banned in Europe.
It got banned in Europe.
It's no longer a legal thing to sell.
Wow.
I don't get why it's a thing. It doesn't do anything for me.
I don't think it does it doesn't do anything for me, but I have to say, if he's got like a donkey dick, it's gonna make my whole life just a little bit easier. And I will say this, I don't really know, like, some people say it doesn't cause brain damage, other people say it might cause a little bit. I think I would never do it more than once a month. I haven't done it in a while. I personally actually like it when a guy's dick is like a little, not like on the smaller side, because
oh yeah, I completely agree, because then you can just sit on it and it's all like
hop right on there.
I just think it's a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah.
You can focus more on the person, and it just becomes more of a passion thing.
Yeah.
I just think it's easier.
It's way easier.
Versus, it's like, well, you're not sticking that in me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it can be very intimidating.
We can use it as a coat hanger, but I don't know if you can put it in me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure. Well, on that note,
so we're going south.
Where south? Oh yeah, we gotta go to the opera house. But
yes.
I guess it doesn't say anything about getting shadow. I guess we can't get shadow yet. Oh well, whatever. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen though with that show. I really hope that I get to sweep the floor. That would be.
Would you? I'm assuming you'd be in New York while it's going on, right?
I don't know where. It was at some. See, I can't even remember the details. It was at some theater festival thing. I don't know, but they were collaborating with him and they were talking to Square Enix. And they were doing all this stuff, so it seemed pretty legit. But and my friend, she was asking me to help her adapt the script. It's so crazy because me and her used to play this game in high school all the time. It was like our special little bonding pastime, and it was crazy because we were actually the heads of student government. We were like in Harry Potter, the head boy and the head girl.
Nice.
But we weren't like, dicks like Percy Weasley was. But
Pastor.
It was this really high stress job in a way. I still feel that was the most responsible I ever was in my life, because we were on like a disciplinary committee where people would get expelled. We organized all this stuff. I felt more I still say that I was more responsible at 18 than I ever have been since.
Thinking about being 18, I remember my senior in high school, My mom actually got remarried and she moved to Louisiana.
Uh-huh.
So like my senior year in high school and my first year of college, I lived alone in her house. I had her keys to her car, I had her credit card, and I was very well behaved.
You were well behaved.
I spent about like $300 a month tops, which was my allowance for groceries, for gas, and went to school.
Yeah,
Nothing
I can
crazy.
see that. You were, obviously, I mean, if you've only ever smoked weed, and you said, like, you've only smoked weed, like, a couple times.
A couple of times.
So you didn't even really like it that much.
Actually, I'm starting to like it more.
Yeah.
My thing is, it's definitely one of those things that, like, I'll do it, I have a giggly time, I'll eat, and then I'm asleep for, like, 10 hours.
Yeah.
That's when I really like it. So if I've had, like, a crazy stressful week, don't mind packing a bowl and just taking a nice long snooze.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's so different out here in California than, like, really where I grew up on the East Coast when it comes to all that. I mean, it's basically legal now. It's pretty much completely legal. So wait, so you told your parents you were gay and they just were like, cool.
Well, my mom, it was funny. I didn't get to tell my mom. I told my brothers. And I checked in the Faultline one night, and I had made a comment about me coming out to my family and starting that.
Wait, so you were already working at Faultline before you told your family?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, okay.
I was there for like 8 months before I started telling anyone.
And what do you tell them you were doing for work?
I work at a bar.
Okay.
And it was like, okay, you work at a bar. Yeah, no biggie. That's it.
And they just, you
and
know.
that's it. That's where it stayed. No questions and nothing.
And they didn't want to come, you know, visit you at work or anything?
Not originally. One of my brothers, the one I told first, was like, cool, I'll check it out sometime. And he started noticing that I was kind of like, yeah, I'll let you know when's a good night. And he noticed I was kind of pushing it off, and ended up just telling him one night. And he was like, yeah, I totally knew. I don't care.
How did you totally knew? Because, honestly, I wouldn't assume you were gay if probably not if I just met you. Like, what made him know?
He just said he knew. He said he was my brother, and he's known me forever, and he's just always just known.
But were you, like, into any, like, girly stuff as a kid, or?
It's funny, I was talking about this the other day. I liked the movie Bring It On.
Okay.
A lot.
Yeah.
That was a movie I could watch 4 times a day and not get bored of it.
She's still Big Red.
She's still Big Red.
After all these years. She's still Big Red.
And now I've passed the torch to Torrance. To Torrance. It's such a good movie. It's just a good movie.
It's an important movie. It's about race relations. It's about serious issues. So you're obsessed with Bring It On, but that was the only thing, or you had other.
I remember one of my brothers. I think it was like in middle school when I was watching it a lot. One of my brothers challenged me on. He goes, "Well, why do you like watching this movie so much?" And I go, "It's a good movie." He goes, "Is it because of the girls, or do you just like the movie?" And I go, "I don't know. I think it's more of." I remember thinking I'm supposed to say the girls.
Right.
That's why I like this movie. But I remember thinking I just like this movie. Is that so bad? And as I've gotten older, I've thought about it, and I don't think it's bad either way, straight, gay, or otherwise. It's fine. It's a good movie. If I like the movie, I like the movie. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
But I am gay, so.
You are, yeah.
I am gay.
And what was the first time you ever remember, like, seeing a guy and being like, and you probably didn't even know that's what that feeling was, right?
Preschool.
Preschool, okay.
Yes.
What was the event?
There was this one guy in class, and it wasn't him I was attracted to. It was at the end of the day, the family would come and pick us all up. Like, everyone's families would show up and then get their kid and go home, whatever. And this one kid in class had this brother that would come pick him up in, like, this soccer uniform all the time. Same thing he wore all the time. I just remember looking at him in preschool and just going, something about him, I want to, like, touch it, and I would put my arms out and just kind of touch it. It was weird. It wasn't, like, a sexual thing. I couldn't explain it then.
Right.
But, you put my current brain in that body, preschool of mine, kind of go back in time without it. So I wanted to bang the guy. That's
right, yeah, right.
Obviously, back then, I had no idea what it was. Mm-hmm. And just growing up, there were subtle things like that growing up. And after certain points, kind of accepted it.
Yeah.
So at some point in high school.
Sure. At senior year?
Yeah, senior year.
Yeah. I gotcha. Okay, are we getting right into this opera scene?
Once you enter the opera house, the scene occurs automatically. Soon enough, you have control of the lock. Leave the balcony through either the lower left or lower right doors. So I've never played this game before, but I've heard that this is a very iconic scene from
This is a very iconic scene. I could probably sing this song to you. If we want to really get into it. Let's see if... Because they did this sort of funny layering with the animation that everyone was so sort of impressed by at the time. Now this game is like 20 years old. It doesn't even let you, like, it really wants to be cinematic and control like the way the text goes by.
I think one of the reasons why I've avoided playing this game for so long was aside from Final Fantasy Tactics, which is kind of different in and of itself from a Final Fantasy game.
Oh yeah, super different.
Final Fantasy VII was the first game I played, and that had, you know, the 3D avatars, and it's very different from this. Then I played 8, then 10, and 9, and all those. And those games are just so much more different, much more modern. And then kind of playing this, I don't know, I feel like it's harder to go back and play this.
Yeah.
Like playing World of Warcraft for the past few years or something, and then going back and playing Warcraft 1 from 95.
Have you played World of Warcraft?
I played World of Warcraft a few times, but my favorite was Warcraft 2 and 3. Mm-hmm. Those are my hands-on favorite.
Oh yeah, I loved it. You can kind of hear it through the headphones. It's the funny, like, singing voice if you want to put the headphones on.
Sure.
Won't show up on the podcast, but I was trying to include the music early on, but it just didn't work with, like, people were talking about, like, going through a divorce, and then it was like the battle music would be playing, like I was like, oh, this is really serious. We're all good. We're still recording. So yeah, so then I decided, okay, we got to do this without the music. As much as I love it, we can't have people talking about.
So I'm going through my divorce,
and it's like, and I was like, oh boy, this is brutal. And then some people are such quiet talkers, you know. All right.
Are we the only people in this audience? Oh well. Like
there's all these little people here, but we're up in the balcony, I guess. Okay, and then this guy. It says exit to the left. Check on things.
Either the left or the right, and you'll find Celeste in the dressing room on the far right. Speak to her.
Okay, I'm gonna go left first. See if there's anything I can pop open. But probably isn't because it's not telling me to do that. But I still like to just look around. Yes, I remember there's someone doing a like cello recital using the music from this scene when I was a kid, and I started thinking that was the coolest thing. But it's funny because it's not even the theme of the game. It's just this music for this one little opera scene. But it definitely, for some reason, just really stuck in people's minds. What's up here?
Well, I mean, even now, I think the Super Nintendo was the first console I've ever owned. Street Fighter 2 was the first game I ever played.
How old are you?
24.
Okay, you're a little younger than me, so yeah.
So, looking back, I can definitely see how this game would be the shit back then. Mm-hmm. Like, this is top-notch graphics. This is a big, compelling story. There's so much going on, so much you can do. Very personal, very customizable. Mm-hmm. Whereas you compare this to something now, and it's very low rate.
Yeah, but I think the limitations of this game, the graphical limitations, like, sometimes I look at the outfits in the more recent Final Fantasy games, and they're so over the top.
Oh, yeah.
Like, in Final Fantasy...
I think 10 is, like...
Oh, yeah.
10 has some of the worst... I mean, what the hell is Seymour wearing?
I hate to say, because people really love that game,
It's a great game, but the outfits are terrible.
The outfits are bad. Only, frankly, I really find all the voice acting except Lulu's annoying. I would have to play that game on silent with my. I made myself CDs so I could play that game on silent and listen to other music. But with all the limitations that were on this, like, everything's very pared down, and that's also what I like about Final Fantasy VII is that all those characters really do look kind of like poor in a way. Like that game is sort of like about environmental issues and
then it gets even bigger.
Yeah. And
but that's why I really like 6 so far. It's funny. These characters have personalities.
Sure.
There's a lot going on. So I mean, I've been having a good time with it so far. Let's see. With Control Celeste, you can read the score on the table, try to memorize your lines, or you can just use this guide to get you through it.
Okay, we're gonna do that.
Either is
I'm not
fine.
gonna remember this. Got
when you're ready,
year and a half in me here.
Go through the upper right door and enter the stage. You'll have 3 chances to select your lines. You must choose the correct choice before the next part of the song comes.
Okay, alright. You tell me what it is.
The choices you must make are, "Oh my hero," "I'm the darkness," and "Must I?"
Okay. Do you want me to lay this on you? Sing this out?
I would like to see that.
Okay, okay. We're gonna get into it.
Oh my hero.
Oh my hero. Oh my hero. My beloved. Shall we still be made to part? I don't know if I don't. Though our promises of perennial love, yet sing here in my heart. I'm the darkness. You're the starlight. Sounds just like an opera diva. Shining brightly from afar. Shining brightly from afar. Through hours of despair, I offer this prayer to you, my evening star. Must my final vows exchanged be with him and not with you? Were you only here to quiet my fear? Oh, speak, guide me anew. Doesn't she say something about it all fades away from night and day? That's what I remember. It's so funny. And then it's cinematic, but then you're in control for these little moments.
So something with if he's gonna turn into a bouquet of flowers, since we did it correctly.
Right. You
Camera pans up.
You throw the bouquet off the balcony, and that's sort of the. Here we go. Yeah. Go up here. This was also a big Final Fantasy because it was the first one where the main characters were really female. They've never done that before.
It's been, what, 2 Final Fantasy games? I mean, if you don't count X2, it's 6 and 13 where the main characters are female.
I see in your eyes, so gentle and wise, all doubts and fears erased. Like the music note, that's a good touch. Though the hours take no notice of what fate might have in store, our love, come what may, will never age a day. I'll wait forevermore. I can't believe that I remember the lyrics just completely differently than they actually were. They spelled Prince wrong. Bad translation. Please leave the past. Part of the East now.
Leave the past behind. You can't ask her to do that. She just turned him into a bouquet and threw him off the castle. Give her a minute.
Give her a minute. Yeah, a lot of people complain about these graphics on Steam, and I will agree that they're a little bit too bright and sunny compared to the original ones, who are a little bit more, like, grittier in a way. But, the translation, on here is, I think, probably one of the better ones that I've seen. Maybe there's more that we have to go through before we get to it all. I don't know why I remember that lyric. It all fades away like night in a day. It's just a fading dream or something like that. Okay, so
when you take control of lock again, leave the room and examine the letter on the ground. You need to return to your seat and speak with Impresario. to continue the scene.
Alright, here we go. Oh no! The octopus is here.
That guy just keeps popping up in this game, right?
Yeah, he's like the sort of secondary... He's like a secondary recurring villain is the best way I would describe him. Alright, let's get to that. Because I don't think there's anywhere we can save. So let's see if we can just bang that out. What? So you played World of Warcraft?
Years ago, briefly. I didn't like the whole subscription thing of it. But to this day, I still play. I'm playing Diablo 3 right now and Heroes of the Storm a lot.
Yeah.
StarCraft here and there. I actually started playing...
StarCraft 3?
Yeah. I started playing Command & Conquer again. I love Command & Conquer.
Oh, yeah. That's such a unique, I think, premise of all those sort of...
RTS games.
Mm-hmm. Because the other one, you know, Warcraft is just like fantasy, and StarCraft is just like science fiction. But Command & Conquer is sort of like this weird alternate future of what happens? Hitler gets killed, they go back in time and kill Hitler? What? I don't even know what the premise is.
There's a couple, I think I want to say there's at least 3 different storylines for Command & Conquers. There's like a actual event thing where they take the modern... actual things that have happened in history and play off that storyline. There's one that's set in the future, and then there's one that's just like all Middle Eastern wars and China stuff.
Yeah.
So they're all different. They're all really good. I just like the whole building the army, blowing up another army. I love that thing.
Yeah.
All right. So when you have control of the locker, you can leave the room. Letter. Run to the upper right door and speak to the man at the top of the stairs.
Oh, upper right door.
Yes. We have a timer?
Yeah. Sucks.
Press the switch on the far right and then go to the upper left door in the previous room.
Right. That's what I remember. This is so stressful. Besides, you need to get up to the catwalks over the switch on the far right, but don't touch any of the others. Okay. Now we gotta go.
Go to the upper left door in the previous room.
I'm getting caught on these chairs. And George Takei is in some of the red alerts I know. He plays like
you know he's one of the generals. Red Alert 3, they got a bunch of random celebrities, very random set, and you can battle against them. So you do like the skirmishes, and you fight against them. So it's kind of cool. Ric Flair was one of the ones I remember. I think Stacy Keibler, George Takei.
Stacy Keibler?
Yeah.
Wow, I had not realized that. That's pretty good.
Ramu.
Yeah, so now we can start using the summons.
That just kind of changes it all then.
Yeah, it does. It does help your whole... Oh my gosh, these monsters are tough, though.
They decide to get tough when there's a timer involved. Yay!
Yeah, this is really not good. Oh my gosh, he deals so much damage just attacking. That's really impressive, actually. Okay, I don't want to... I guess I have to fight that... Well, now I'm fighting... It's not even a...
Well, this isn't fair.
This sucks.
Sitting area.
What does it say to do? Because I just want to just fucking obliterate these fools. Okay. What?
What the hell?
That is crazy.
This is not the time to throw in some crazy bosses. And then Ramu didn't hit everyone.
Yeah, what the hell was that? Well, I don't want to steal right now. I just want to kill the... Okay. I don't care. Okay, all the rats are dead. Let's just... No.
Gotta go back up. Oh, he's gone. Dodge him up.
This is stressful. This is the thing. As this game gets harder, it's going to be even more challenging to have like a clever and witty podcast because the game is going to get
distracting in and of itself.
I mean, this whole process, it's kind of like ninja training for me. I really want to do more, just anything involving my voice and talking and being a fan. But I read this interview with L3T'S where he talks about they would make him run around the block and then rap when he was like before his career really took off, and that's like kind of what I feel like this is for me. I'm like learning how to get good at talking to people while having to do this at times very, very not easy thing of play this game.
We got it.
Okay, we did it.
There he goes.
Now we just gotta take out this guy. Oh, and maybe now Deborah gets to be in the crew. We get to fight him like that. Let's see what it says. Oh, so the game was like frozen. Oh no! Oh.
Alright, so this is crazy. So the whole play was going on. They were doing their own thing, and then this guy interrupted, and then now everything's kind of screwed up.
I think that's why people love this scene so much, is because there's this like heightened drama of like, it's very... There's so many scenes, I feel, in movies where there's a play or theater going on and then something's happening in the rafters, you know what I mean?
I know in Final Fantasy VII, there's a whole little thing with the rafters.
Oh, yeah.
The first time you meet Aerith, and you have to kind of rescue her, and you do some junk with the rafters, and you escape through there.
There was, like, totally a scene like that in the new Mission Impossible movie. That was kind of ridiculous, though. Have you seen any... Are you excited for Deadpool? Are you...
I already have my tickets.
Me too.
Yes.
Me too. Not even gonna lie. I love it.
I'm excited for this. And Ryan Reynolds
Ryan
is
Reynolds.
really hoping they let him have a boyfriend, or at least like a dude to like hook up with in the next one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because
Deadpool is a total pansexual slut, so that's awesome.
That's true. Deadpool is, I think, the most cosplayed character of all time. Because you can project anything you want onto Deadpool, because he's good, sometimes he's bad, sometimes he's funny, he's dangerous, he's just everything anyone would want to be, I think, in a way. Or want to be for the length of a convention. Do you go to cons or anything like that?
I've not been to a con yet.
Oh.
I really want to do BlizzCon, Comic-Con.
BlizzCon, that's all like Blizzard stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's here in LA usually, or in Anaheim?
Yeah, I don't even know, but that's amazing that they have a whole convention for just that.
Just Blizzard
Of
stuff.
course, then they have conventions just for people who like My Little Pony, so I shouldn't be.
Hello Kitty, and...
They have like Santa Claus conventions now, I heard.
RuPaul's Drag Race has one
Oh,
now.
well, yeah, that's huge. That, they've only done that 1 year, but already it's become a huge thing, I think.
The tickets are already sold out for the most part.
For
this year?
DragCon?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, Amber Rose is going to be there, so what more could you want?
Hashtag fingers in the booty.
My friend Rudy is actually the overall like programmer director, I think, for DragCon.
That's got to be crazy.
Yeah, it's his main job now. He actually got me into Kamikaze, Stan Lee's Kamikaze, that convention, because of doing DragCon and because he works with those guys to put on DragCon, which I think is so funny because it's such different things. But I don't know. I didn't go to DragCon last year, but I love conventions though. Every time I go to a convention, I always think I'm gonna go in there and be like sick of it. I just always leave in such a good mood, which is like the opposite for me of going to an art show where I always go and then am like just overwhelmed. And I don't know, it's an weird artist thing. So you've also lately been doing some photography, getting some pictures taken of yourself.
A friend of mine last semester had he had a photograph someone who was working in their profession, like their dream job kind of profession thing. So he asked me to model for him in like firefighter attire, and EMT attire. That was fun. I'd never done a photo shoot before. It was fun. Came over at like 10 a.m. He had coffee. He brought a bunch of breakfast. It was like a little buffet. Played music, and I just sat there and tried to look pretty.
Yeah.
He got an A. I'm happy.
And that's like a whole thing, like the firefighter thing.
Oh yeah, that's definitely something I'd love to still do, but getting hired for that is so hard. Like chances to get it are so hard.
To become a firefighter.
Oh god, yeah, it's ridiculous. How
I didn't know that it was a difficult career.
You'll have like 20 open spots for some place like LA County, and have people from New York and Florida and Washington and everything in between apply for it.
That's
So
crazy.
you'll have like 20 open spots that gets like 5,000 applicants at least, you know, anywhere from 5 to 10 at least, I've heard. So I have just heard and worked with so many people that'll have a ridiculous amount of really good qualifications to become great firefighters, and they really have a good sense of how the job works, and it's really something they're passionate about. And, you know, they'll be working on this from the time they're 18 till the time they're 32, all the meanwhile doing EMT jobs to stay ready for it. And they get to 32 and they're still making minimum wage. And I don't know, it's just not something I want.
They pay firefighters minimum wage.
Well, I'm sorry, EMTs make minimum wage.
Right, okay, yeah.
Once you get hired as a firefighter, that's like starting at like $70K a year.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So it's a bit of a jump. You're from like 15 to 20K to 70.
Yeah.
And it's great, you know.
Because it's a, you know.
That's a career.
It's a
You're
career.
set.
How dangerous is firefighting, would you say?
Really, 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 really dangerous.
It is,
Aside from just the potential work hazards.
Uh-huh.
The best example I can give you is going into these burning buildings, even sometimes with your SCBAs, which is like the whole breathing apparatus.
Oh, that's, okay.
It's a self-contained breathing apparatus, that whole like mask thing, and there's oxygen going on. Some of those you can sometimes still get some smoke in there before you put them on. You can get smoke in there. I'm sorry, you can get smoke in your lungs, and that can build up and cause cancer.
Mm-hmm.
These things can kill you in time, and it's tragic.
Yeah.
You know, there's plenty of occupational hazards. You're dealing with a lot of equipment, a lot of tools, a lot of emergency situations. You have to pay attention.
Yeah.
And that's like aside from the burning buildings. Sometimes you have crazy patients who can hurt you. And it's unfortunate to think that someone you're going to help can hurt you.
Just people in a fire situation that they don't even know what, they're just freaking out and they don't know what's going on. They do something crazy.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's a lot of occupational hazards, a lot of hazards. Being exposed to that much diesel fuel from all the engines is bad for you for so long.
Wow.
That's one of the reasons, like, my last ambulance company, I was glad when I stopped working there, because it was like getting to the point where daily I'd get in and it's all that exhaust coming in, hitting you in the face.
Oh my god.
Because our engines were so bad. I had one day where my partner and I got there, it's Saturday morning, we check our ambulance, it's gonna go, we start going up the block to our first call. We get to the corner and we go, hey, that's a lot of smoke, even for our crappy ambulance, right?
Yeah.
Like, black smoke is coming out from the AC
And you're going
spot.
to do what?
We had an emergency run to go. We
You're
had an
in
emergency situation.
and the car is what? It's exploding?
There is black smoke coming out of all the AC vents.
Wow.
So we go, black smoke, that has to be some kind of fire. That's not good. We pull over, pop the hood, and sure enough, the alternator is throwing flames at us. It's completely inflamed. And we're just freaking out.
Meanwhile, you need to get to save this person or whatever the hell they're doing. Oh my god, I can't even imagine.
I've never heard of an ambulance catching on fire, but ours did.
Yeah.
And we weren't at the end of the block from our station. We had just started driving. It was insane.
Oh my god.
So I go to the back. He opens the trunk, the hood again. I turn it out with the fire extinguisher, and it's like, can you guys still make this call? No, we can't make this call. I'm not getting back in this ambulance again. It just caught on fire. So one of the supervisors came down and drove it to a repair shop, and we had to wait a few hours to get a new ambulance.
Oh my gosh. Well, Ray, I salute you for the work that you do, saving people in the bar, saving people in the ambulance, and thank you so much for being on Let's Gay. Tune in. We are uploading twice a week, and everyone come out to Human Resources on Monday, the 22nd. We're going to be having a 3DS get-together night, and I'm going to be showing some videos in this insane video installation. It's like 25-foot tall projections on 3 walls of nerdy videos of mine. Everyone come out. Thanks so much for tuning in.